Welcome back to my channel. My name is Cami. Today we are doing a good old-fashioned book haul. I've never done a book haul on my channel. Well, my channel is still very new, so never done a book haul, but I am excited for it. This is going to be a thrift store book haul that I just did on vacation. I guess it's a vacation book haul because there is one book that I didn't get at the small bookstore. I got it at Walmart, but it looked really interesting, and I was just like super into buying books that day, so I bought too many. So we're just gonna so we're just gonna, get right into it. We're gonna have a special guest today, my baby Fiona. She might be sitting on my lap for most of this video. I just got back from vacation this morning, or well, this afternoon. So I have not seen her in 10 days. She has not left my sight since I walked through the door. Also, I am filming at night, so I'm sorry if it looks okay to me, but sorry if the video is a little dark or not as bright as it usually is. I film with natural light, so all I have is my light up here in my room, and it's dark outside because it's like 9 o'clock, so might be closer to 8. I'm not really sure. My time is all messed up tonight, so we're just gonna get into it. Like I said, most of the books are from a small bookstore. I believe it was called the Bookstore on the Corner. I thought that was really cute because it kind of reminded me of the bookstore in You Got Mail, which is also, is that one called the Bookstore on the Corner too? I don't remember what that one is called, but it reminded me of that movie. Excuse me, no one wants to see your butt. No ma'am. Oh my god, she wants me to pet her butt so bad. What's happening? Can you not? Really? Like, just lay down, okay? Lay down. Lay down, Missy. I'm gonna have cat hair all over me, and I'm wearing all black except for this orange. Okay, let's get into it. If there's a little noise, my heater's on, and that's up there. So if you hear any type of noise, that's what that is. Also, she's purring really loudly, so it might be her. I'm not gonna go in any particular order. I am gonna try to pick up the Walmart book last. Okay, so the first one is Jaws by Peter Benchley. I'm actually already reading this one, so you can see there. I'm about 116 pages in, and it's pretty good so far. I haven't seen Jaws in a really long time. I don't know how accurate the movie adaptation is, but so far the book is pretty good. It's old though. So, well, it's from like the 70s. So some of the language in it, the way that they talk about women, the way that they talk about people of color, isn't great. So if you are going to pick up an old book, you kind of just have to know going into it that old books just kind of say whatever. So it kind of reminds me a little bit of Stephen King's writing. Like his old writing, like old books of him, like it. I will say that Jaws is the reason I'm afraid of sharks. So I don't know. So far I really like it, and this is like such an old, like, vintage copy. No ma'am. No. This is such an old, like, vintage copy. I love it. Okay, the next one is Horror Show by Greg Kinn. This is about I think zombies in LA while they're making movies. I don't know exactly, and I read all the synopsis before I started this video so that I would know what I was talking about, because I watch a lot of other YouTubers videos when they do book hauls, and it's like, I don't really know what this one is about, which is fine. I'm still gonna watch them, but I don't want to pick up books that I have no idea what they're about. To be honest though, I do pick them up one time, I read the synopsis once, that sounds interesting, I'm gonna buy it, and then I never look at the back of the book again. So I did read the synopsis. It does look interesting to me. Apparently it's like 96, like 1996, and they're going to LA to like see how they make movies or whatever, and they find like some type of cursed movie. Don't really know. But it looks interesting. I'm kind of interested in like movies and like how they make movies and what scary movies are based on and stuff. So this is just interesting to me. The next two actually are, oh, the one is on the bottom, are in a series, but they're not the first and second in the series. They're actually the first and the third. So I have a Red Dragon and Hannibal by Thomas Harris. Look at this copy. They had like 8 copies of Red Dragon, which I've been wanting to pick this series up for a really long time. They had like 8 copies of this, and this one was my favorite. I don't know why, but I really love it. Red Dragon, Hannibal, Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal Rising, those are all a series. This is the first and third. If you haven't seen the movies, though, The Silence of the Lambs is actually the first movie that they made, but it's actually the second book in the series. So when they made Red Dragon, which is the third book, the third movie, the first book, they did it as like a prequel. And I think Hannibal Rising they just made as the fourth, which is, it's supposed to be the fourth. I don't have The Silence of the Lambs, couldn't find that one, couldn't find Hannibal Rising, but I did decide to pick these two up. And hopefully I can find the others at some other used bookstore, or maybe I'll just buy them new, who knows. But I have been wanting to get my hands on like these specific books for a really long time, and I'm so glad I found like, I mean, this one doesn't look super old. This one definitely looks old though. And I know they're kind of like, all of these are mass market paperback. I don't really care that much about like what kind of books I'm picking up. They did have a lot of hard copies or hardcovers of like different books, and I wanted to buy them all, but I was traveling and I didn't want my bag to be super heavy, so I picked mass market paperbacks. That's why I got so many, but I didn't want to like fill my bag up with a bunch of hardcover books because that's crazy. I would have done it, but I was thinking a little bit smarter. The next one that I picked up was Raveling by Peter Moore Smith. This one is about a woman who is, she's a psychotherapist, and she is torn between 2 brothers, Eric and Pilot. Pilot is a schizophrenic, and then Eric is his brother. And she falls in love with Eric while she's treating his brother, and then she finds out that they used to have a sister, and the sister was murdered, and it turns out that somebody in the family did it. I think that's what this one is about, or at least that's the gist of it. By the end of the book, you find out, I guess, who did it, and it's like a big surprise reveal. So my bangs are really bugging me tonight, man. So I think that's basically what it's about. The 2 brothers, and the sister gets murdered, and she finds out who murdered her, and it's like a big, woo, kind of scary. The next one I didn't realize was part of a series, but I just kind of went down the horror. They had like one horror bookshelf in the used bookstore. And I saw this, and it sounded pretty intriguing to me. It's Offspring by Jack Ketchum. I've been seeing this name a lot on Goodreads, and I think that Kat and her dad Larry from Paperback Dreams, they read a book of his. I don't think they liked it. It wasn't this one though, but when I saw this, I kind of had to pick it up. And I should have known by the back of it. It says the local sheriff of Dead River, Maine, thought he had killed them off 10 years ago. A primitive cave-dwelling tribe of cannibalistic savages, but somehow the clan survived to breed, to hunt, to kill, and eat, and now the peaceful residents of the isolated town are fighting for their lives. Mine kind of sounds like Hills Have Eyes. Also is a movie, and I had no idea. This is Offspring. Off Season is the movie, or excuse me, Off Season is the book before this one, and I think there's another book after this one, and it's The Woman, and then this one and The Woman were made into movies, but I haven't seen either of them. I didn't even know that they were made into movies until someone told me. So there's that. The next book is about the next book is The Cradle Will Fall by Mary Higgins Clark. I'm a Mary Higgins Clark collector. I love her books. R.I.P. She passed away in January of this year. She was like in her 90s, but she is my favorite author. I love reading from her. They had a ton, and I do mean a ton, of Mary Higgins Clark at that bookstore, and I saw this copy of The Cradle Will Fall like way up top, so I like kind of spider monkeyed my way up there because I had to have it. The Cradle Will Fall, I think, is the first Mary Higgins Clark book that I ever read. I read it when I was like 14, maybe 15 years old, when I was in high school, and that's when I got introduced to Mary Higgins Clark, and she's been my favorite ever since then. I've read quite a few of her books. I don't have very many on my shelf. I have like 5. I think this one makes 6. So there's not a ton, but I cannot wait to grab more. I should have grabbed another couple while I was at that bookstore because they're so inexpensive. And because these particular books, the Mary Higgins Clark books, I want to collect the mass market paperback copies of them. It would have been perfect for me to grab them from there, but I just didn't think about it. I will say that this copy is a little bit different than what I'm looking for. Her other copies that I have MH right here on the top. But doesn't matter. This is still a beautiful copy. I can't really remember what this book was about specifically, but I do know that there is a doctor in it that does fertility treatments. That is one thing that has stood out to me for a really long time. That one and one of the murders that happens in this book have stood out to me for a long time. And I do believe that this is the first book that I read that actually scared me. And I crave it now. I crave being scared and while reading. It's an incredible feeling. I love it. So this book definitely got me into that. Her writing got me into like thrillers and suspense and mysteries and whatnot. But this book specifically just did it for me. After I read this, I was like, why don't I read more? Like, I just wanted to read all the time. I was like, if this is what reading is all about, have to read all the time now. Most people say that the books that did that for them are the Twilight books. I read the Twilight books much later. I didn't read them until I was a late teenager. Like, I was 18, 19 years old. So those books didn't get me started into reading. I read all of them, but they didn't get it started for me. So this one did. Beautiful. Okay. 2 that I picked up that I'm super excited about. These actually I picked up. I saw one and then I saw the other and I was like, have to have them. The Troop by Nick Cutter and Paul Tremblay's The Cabin at the End of the World. This one is about a 7-year-old who is on a trip with his 2 dads, and they are in a cabin. They don't have neighbors really, and then the kid starts playing with some random person in the woods, and then more strangers show up and they're like, you know what, we're gonna have to kill your dads or something, or maybe not kill them. I don't know what the hell goes on. I know this is Gabby Reed's like one of her favorite thrillers of all time, so I had to pick it up. She hyped it up so much that I had to. She has a tendency to do that for me. She also hyped up this one, which is The Troop. I don't know when I am going to read this one, but it's probably not going to be anytime soon. Because this one is, I think it's like disease based. I don't want to read it right now. because of the pandemic going on. I'm already stressed out. I came home from vacation stressed out. I have to go to work Thursday stressed out. So I am gonna save this, but also like my December TBR is all book of the month books, so I'm not that worried about it. I'll just save it for, you know, a couple months from now. I'll have it on my shelf. But look at it's kind of like shiny. I know that there's a troop of like Boy Scouts that go out like camping with their scoutmaster or whatever, and then some dude comes by and he's like, I'm hungry, feed me, and then starts eating the dirt. And that's something that Gabby Reed's said about it, and I'm kind of into it. That sounds like it's gonna creep me out. Like, this book sounds like it's going to scare me to no end, and I can't wait for it. Okay, another book that I picked up is The Ruins by Scott Smith. Now, this is one that Gabby DNF'd, I believe. I think she DNF'd it, but she was already like maybe halfway through. It's a big girl. Like, it's a big book. But the premise is so interesting to me that I think that I'll like it. So it's two young couples go on a Mexican vacation, and then one of them disappears. When the brother of one of the friends disappears, they decide to venture into the jungle to look for him. What started out as a fun day trip slowly spirals into a nightmare when they find an ancient ruin site, terrifying presence that lurks there. So that sounds interesting to me. Something that she said about it was that it was really slow, which I don't really mind, like a slow start to a book. I don't mind if it takes me a minute to get into it. I feel like she reads so much. Like, she reads 10 to 15 books a month. So I feel like she looks for books that are going to take her 2 to 3 days to read, I feel. And if it took me a week or 2 weeks to read this, that wouldn't bother me if it takes me a little longer to get into it. Because I'm averaging about 4 books a month. So nothing against wanting to read a book quick. Like, I wish that I could, but it wouldn't bother me if this took me a little longer to get into. And I think that was her biggest problem, was that it was taking her forever to get into it. She didn't feel like anything was going to happen. But I'm going to stick it. I think I'll stick it through. I want to read it, and I want something that's going to scare me. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I do have very similar tastes to Gabby, so I'm a little nervous to like pick it up. But there are some things that like we differ on. Like, that one thing is that she wants a book to be quick, and I don't mind if it takes a minute. So to build up the plot, I mean, it doesn't bother me. The last used book that I picked up was Mr. Shivers by Robert Jackson Bennett. It looks like this. Okay, I'm just gonna read the back because I really can't remember what this one was about. It is the time of the Great Depression. Thousands have left their homes looking for a better life, a new life, but Marcus Connolly is not one of them. He searches for one thing and one thing only: revenge, because out there, riding the rails, stalking the camps, is the scarred vagrant who murdered Connolly's daughter. One man must face a dark truth and answer the question, how much is he willing to sacrifice for his satisfaction? You can see on the back here, there's like a little picture of like a railroad track and a man kind of sitting across it or lying across it. So I thought that was kind of interesting little picture to throw on the back, that you can see it, but it's like you would have to be really looking at it. So I thought that was kind of interesting and interesting sounding book, and I'm pretty excited about it. Okay, the last book that I picked up on vacation is called The Daughter, and it is by Jane Shemilt. I'm gonna have to look that up. Shemilt. Or Shemilt. I don't know. Jane Shemilt. I'm excited for this one. This one is about a mom who is, what is she, a doctor? She's a doctor, and she is married to a neurosurgeon, so he's also a doctor, or surgeon. I guess they are kind of two different things. What an asshole I am. I just belittled him so hard and didn't even mean to. I'm really tired. I've been up since like 2 in the morning. Anyways, this mom, she has 2 daughters, and then one of them, nope, she has 3 daughters, I think, and the youngest one, who is 15, disappears. She starts thinking she was kidnapped. She starts thinking that she was probably murdered. And then those things kind of disappear when they start not being able to find her. She digs for answers for more than a year, and then what she finds disturbs her. So she starts thinking less and less that her daughter was kidnapped or murdered, and she starts thinking more that she might have just ran away. For some reason, I love stories like this. One of my favorite books of the year is Two Girls Down, and that one is about 2 little girls that go missing, and their mom like is searching for them. They hire private detectives and bounty hunters to try to find them, and throughout the story you're like looking for them, not knowing if they got kidnapped or if they went on their own. And it is so good. So I'm hoping that that's kind of the vibes I'm gonna get from this. But I just, when I saw this, I had to pick it up. I had to. Look at this little house, like in the rain. The aesthetic, I'm here for it. Look at the rain. But yeah, I cannot wait to read this. I'm so excited. I'm actually excited for this entire stack of books. So yeah, that is my book haul for, I would call it my November book haul, but you know what? That's just my vacation book haul. I probably will not be buying books for the next month. I still need to buy all my Christmas presents, and it is December 1st right now. I will leave the information for the bookstore down below. If you guys live in the Oklahoma, like the Chickasha area, that's where the bookstore is at. It's in Chickasha, Oklahoma. And it's incredible. I did not catch the lady's name who owned it or who was running the show over there, but she was so sweet. You do have to wear a mask to go in there. It is kind of cramped. Like the first time I went in there twice, because the first time I went in there, it was very overwhelming. There's a lot of sections. There's a lot of books. There's a lot of stuff going on. And there are there's the big main room, and then you can go back, and there's like a small, like, it looks kind of like a walk-in closet, but it has bookshelves, and it's all hardcover books. And then you can walk in there, and then you can walk towards the back of the store, and there's another huge room with a whole bunch of books in it. Like, I can't believe how big this place was, because looking on it from the outside, you're just like, oh, it's just a cute little bookstore literally on the corner of the street. Hello. And then you go inside, and it's like, this is one of the biggest small bookstores I have ever seen in my life. But it was really fun. I will say it was a little cramped, but in the most aesthetically pleasing way possible, because literally the hardcover books are in like that big walk-in closet area, but like they're all on the shelves, but also they were being stacked from the bottom up, like on the floor, because she also buys used books, so you can turn in your books after you're finished reading them. And she kind of like buys them back, kind of like Half Price Books does. And I thought that was pretty sweet. So I would definitely go back and see her again. Hopefully when I go back to Oklahoma, she is there, because I loved that bookstore so much. It was so fun. And great deals on the books that I only spent about $30 on books this month. Like, what? Okay, so I'll leave all that information down below. I'll leave my book of the month link below if you guys want to check out book of the month. If you guys want to check out Stitch Fix, I'll leave that link down below. I'll leave my links for my Twitter and my Instagram down below as well. And if you guys would like and subscribe, that would be fantastic. Or don't if you don't want to yet. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!